Alright fellas, here we're back on Pokemon Masters, and we've got ourselves the rerun of the Special Pasio Stadium Fire Weakness versus Neo Champion Red. This initially debuted back during the 4th anniversary with Red's debut. He literally dropped, I think Leaf dropped 2 days afterwards, and on the same day we got this stadium, which was against Red. So very, very soon for him to have gotten his stadium, right? And now he's gotten his rerun. So we're going to be doing it here again today. Obviously, I did it back on release, but now we've got more fire tools, and I think I've done some pretty different battles, especially because, like, half of the characters didn't exist. Well, like 2 of them that I can think of off the top of my head did not exist whenever this stadium came out initially. But yeah, whatever. Let's go ahead, hop into the battles, have some fun doing some fire weakness stadiums. Whatever. That's all I gotta say. This isn't a guide or anything, so don't expect as much. This is just some fun. That's pretty much it. Alright, and our first battle here is against Glacia. You know, may as well get the hardest one out of the way first. And what better way to handle a fucking behemoth like Glacia than to put her to sleep? Glacia is like a wild boar. A boar will be very terrifying and scary, and that is what Glacia is, very terrifying and scary. But if you put him to sleep, they're not very threatening anymore. You can just kill it in its sleep. That sounded fucking maniacal, but that's, you get what I mean, right? Either way. So we pretty much put those traits to good use here in being able to just pretty much sleep spam Glacia in order to empower Serena so that she can just decimate, right? We bring Ninetales for the sunny day, we bring Proton for accuracy buff so Hypnosis can actually land, crit, special attack, and speed buffs as well. And special bulk just in case any like AoE moves may get through, which they do, so keep that in mind. And also special moves next, obviously extremely helpful for getting us some extra damage as well. So that's very, very nice of him. And anyway, I like Proton. For some reason, I like Proton at an unnaturally unrealistic amount. But either way, whatever. The whole thing is mostly just trying to make sure the enemies stay asleep. Mostly the middle, because you can handle an AoE like Icy Wind or something from the sides, but the big thing is the friggin' Frostlass. The Frostlass hurts, man. That Frostlass hurts, and it is not fun to deal with. So the big thing here, we go ahead, we use Hypnosis, stop the use of Hail, right, and then go for the Sync move instantly with Serena, because she does have Rude Awakening, she has innate sleep, so you want to make sure the enemies are asleep. Nuke them, ton of damage, use Overheat, KO Frostlass, goodbye. We've lowered the ICQ down to also a serviceable amount, and boom, it also goes down. So that was pretty much the strategy. Weaken one of the sides as much as we possibly could, and then nuke the middle for pretty much all of its health, and then KO that side in the spare time that we have. That's pretty much all I did. Also, Proton was pretty useful here for his confusion, and if we were to grid him for aggravation, we could have combined flinch and sleep in order to get an extremely annoying setup here. Confusion, flinch, and sleep all combined. Obviously, flinch and sleep don't stack, but in case like one may wear off, another one could go back on. It would be absurd. Pretty much just like, hey, don't move type of team, right? Either way. There we go, finish them off pretty easily. Serena's still crazy in like stadium stages for her ability to just sleep spam, which is great for denying enemy actions. It's amazing. So there we go, that worked out very, very effectively for us. Thank you, Proton, thank you, Ninetales, and thank you, Serena, for the very easy win versus Glacia. Definitely, I would say the hardest stage out of all 5 of these, honestly. I hate that stage so much. Alright, here we are for probably my favorite setup. I'd say this is probably my favorite setup of the team. I like the next one as well, because it's one that I didn't think would actually work, but it did. Either way, whatever. This one is just sync ramping fun. Obviously, my go-to sync rampers are pretty much Adamant and Ray as a combination, because they work so well together. It's like bread and butter, okay? Alright, you can't blame me. Anyway, whatever. It would have probably been fundamentally better for ramping purposes to go for Ray's sync move here, but I wanted to go for May's for her stats as well as her defensive debuffing ability with Defense Destroyer on Mega Blaziken. Or, of course, EX and Roll would have pretty much given her the same effect as Ray. But I don't even have her EX, which I should have done that. It would have made her look a little bit more impressive, but either way, it doesn't really matter too much. May's got a pretty good kit that functions really well with both of these characters. We use Adamant and his extended Sun in order to keep Sun up without having to ever reset it by using Adamant's Sync move. We also use him for defensive debuffing alongside Ray, which does very good at it, because obviously Koga here has Toughen Up and Tighten Up 9, so the fact that we're able to debuff defenses by 2 is really, really strong. It just means we get a ton of defensive debuffs in, despite the fact that Koga can rebuff them, because literally you're getting -2 off Defense Destroyer, -2 off Adaman's Buddy Move, and -2 off of Ray's Buddy Move. And then the occasional -1 off of Ray's regular move as well, right? So you've got a lot of different ways to do defensive debuffing, which is extremely useful for a team like this, and especially useful against Koga because of just how much, he's able to debuff his, raise his defense, right? So keep all that in mind. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't really matter too much. We finish him off. These grids were weird because I used Tank Adaman as a grid, which has like no DPS multipliers, or multipliers in general, literally just like Drought Alert and that's it. And Ray, I have Insult to Injury, and that's pretty much it. So I mean, you could do these with lower level dupes of Adaman and Ray if you're really that interested. It was mostly a flex, right? Abusing the ramping abilities alongside May. That's pretty much all I did here. Didn't really try and go for full sweat power mode or whatever the hell you want to call it. And here we are, triple Flareon. I did like the setup because I was surprised that it worked as well as it did. I wanted to use Lucas, Variety Lucas, with Flareon instead of the main character, but for one, that's not shiny, and for two, it's mixed, and for three, the ability to set Sun with that character is absolute dog shit, because you want to prioritize using Eriott's nuke here due to just straight up being stronger, especially with actual investment, but you also want to use Lucas's for Sun, right? So there's that problem. So what do you do to compensate? You just get rid of Lucas and bring on the better, shinier Flareon. Which really is just a more desaturated Flareon. But I'm not going to hate, honestly. I'm not going to hate on Flareon's color scheme, the shiny color scheme. I don't really care that much. Either way, this makes abuse of Tina's Scorching Touch, I think is what it's called, ability, to where she got a 50% chance to burn enemies upon using Flame Charge, so we don't have to rely as much on Eriott, as well as, I guess, minimally the main character, to do actual burning, so we can actually have some consistent burns here without having to maybe do as many resets. Really, the only problem that I had with this team was less so consistency and more the fact that I missed crits on Eriott's sync move like 3 times in a row on the final sync, so that was the only real problem that I faced. Also, some stray AoEs from the sides really put a dent in my team last time, but this time it wasn't as bad. Either way, whatever, doesn't matter too much. We go ahead and finish up here with some flame charges on Lucario to weaken it down enough, and finish off with a flame charge here on Grimsley until we can actually nuke down the Bisharp. Would have been better to utilize another character's move first, but I was not sure if it would have KO'd, so I wanted to have the opportunity to quad Q in case I needed to, so I was just playing it safe there. Either way, we do quad Q the Flare Blitz here, because I don't think we would have actually won if I didn't quad Q it. It would have been pretty close either way, because look how much damage we take there, it's absurd. Either way, it doesn't matter too much. We go ahead, go for the Flare Blitz, they get destroyed. Goodbye, Lucario. Awesome stuff. And also the burn chip damage was helpful for that too. So triple Flareon, relatively effective. Not like a very top tier team, but I mean, it works out well enough. Would I utilize it consistently? Probably not. But out of 4 Flareons, we do have 3 that are good. I'm kidding. Variety Lucas isn't that bad. He's just really bad at setting Sun. So you probably could have replaced Eriott with an invested Variety Lucas if wanted to. But whatever. Let's move on. Is it alright to change my mind and say that this is my favorite setup of the stadium battle so far? Because this one was stupid. This literally worked off of an accidental misclick on Steven, because I was not sure how Maxie's bulk would handle to some of like the potential AoEs that these guys could put out, but they didn't even do any AoEs. We just straight up bullied them. I went for speed form when I meant to go for defense form, and it just ended up working out, which is hilarious to me. The gauge with speed form Deoxys is so absurdly stupid. I can't believe it. Like, I mean, I get it. It's Deoxys. He's fast, he's got gauge acceleration there, all of that, but look at the move gauge. We have a slow-ass Groudon on our team and no speed buffs on Blacephalon. Steven is quite literally carrying our gauge. How does that happen? It's so funny. It's like, look at this gauge. It's straight up near Apple Cup standards. Okay, a little bit of exaggeration, sure, but still, like, that's crazy to me. It's just how fast that gauge can go, just because of Steven alone. Like, I get it. He's got high speed stats and whatever, but no one else has speed buffs, and we, again, got Groudon on the team. So I feel like it's fair enough for me to have made a little bit of an assumption that this wouldn't have actually been that strong as it is, but apparently it is. Also, one thing to note, that was okay damage off of a 1 out of 5 Maxie's Solar Beam off-type, right? Like, we put out, what, it was like 4K or something off of that Solar Beam? That wasn't too bad. I mean, we ended up finishing off here, I'm pretty sure, with Solar Beam anyway, so it's kind of funny to me. I did want to finish off with that Streams Flames Mind Blown, but we didn't have Sun Up. I think with Sun Up it would have KO'd, but I got unlucky. Either way, it didn't matter. We finished off here with Steven because of his great tanking and defense form, speed form, despite being speed form, not defense form, and then finish him off there with Groudon. So that was fun. Triple Helen, master passive, not master passive. I guess Maxie's master passive being activated was pretty good as well, because it did allow Steven to have that actual tanking near the end. But it also, obviously, we had the Hoenn Circle up with Wallace, which was, you know, maxed out there, and the Sun, obviously, for Wallace for Maxie was helpful. So I think that team explains itself on why it functions, not really as well as it did, but how it did. Ending off here, we end how we ended last time. I don't know, whatever. The way I won against Red last time was using Cygnus Morty and Cygnus Anniversary N, not Cygnus N. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, if it ain't fix it, don't broke it. That's pretty much what we did here. We didn't change the setup. I just swapped out Classic Elisa for Iris. Yes, I would have used Classic Elisa again in a heartbeat, but I wanted to change it up at least a little bit, so I did. I forgot that Red's mechanics were all so stupid, honestly. I don't remember if I ever actually looked it up after winning, because I beat it very easily, I'm pretty sure, when I reacted to the battle initially. But Red's got stupid mechanics. He's got Furious Brain and Furious Brawn, both. He's got mixed attacks, so he's going to be at least benefiting off of one of them directly. And he's also got Hostile Environment 9, so if Sun is not up, or you don't have Antifreeze or fucking Status Condition immunity, then you're going to get frozen by literally any of his ice moves, which is pretty stupid. And of course, he's got Blizzard as well, which is just high-powered. He's got base 1,400 offenses. Before attack buffs, before strength buffs, any of that stuff, he has like 1.4k base, which is absolutely absurd. So being able to survive is nice because of the Iris's ability to debuff attack and special attack by -2 in an instant. That is extremely helpful for making sure we have actual, you know, survivability. So thank you, Iris, for that. Appreciate it very much. It obviously ends doing work. The one little thing that they do give you for this battle is that they give you infinite field effects. So you don't have to worry about setting Sun back up with Morty. You can focus on healing and buffing gauge, defenses, whatever you may want to. And that's obviously very helpful for any Sun setter, such as Variety Lucas. No, you really want Sun up early, because again, if Sun is not up, then you're going to get froze, because I didn't know this actually, but apparently in Masters, and probably the main series too, you can't get frozen if you're under Sun. So that's a good thing to carry over. But they didn't want to carry over the 50% special defense buff from being in Sand for Steel, Ground, and Rock types. Yay, inconsistency, my favorite. Whatever. That's a natural thing in this game, is inconsistency, so that's just how it goes. But there it was. There was the Fire Stadium. Very, very fun time, honestly. It took me like probably 30 minutes all in all to get all the footage for this, and I had a fun time doing it. I just built the teams, used characters I got. We used new characters such as the Egg EVs, right, with Flareon. We used New Year's Wallace, we used Proton, the EX roll for Cygnus Steven, and I didn't even have Cygnus Steven the last time, so we used him in general. So that was all nice. I'm very happy to have actually been able to use some different characters, so that was fun. But yeah, I'll see you all later. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you did for your Fire Stadium battles, Fire Special, Pasio Stadium battles, whatever the hell you want to call them, and yeah, I'll see you all later.